very good morning. Karibu back to Y254 TV. This is the serious. The fact that I've said that does not even make it any better. But anyway, Karibu back to Y254. We have gone back to the place where we look a little bit more serious. Sijasema hatukuangi serious, but anyway, if you miss this show's part 1, you are always missing out on good things. Hey, ni kama ile insert voice ya chef Ali Mahindra ile ya vurunya mwanangu. Unakuanga ukimiss hiyo part ya kuvurunya, lakini sijasema hizi parts zingine si za kuvurunya. I'm just saying you need to be tuning in at 7 a.m. But anyway, we have gone to the second segment of this show where we get to hear about inspiring stories. We bring you great guests who have impact-making stories. They've gone through the nimetafuta milima mabonde. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I like you. But anyway, they go through the milima and the mabondes. Guys, before I scare my guest away, this week I'm joined by Cynthia Omwenga, who is an advocate and she is a philanthropist passionate about community service. But anyway, she's here to tell us about her story and get to inspire us. Karibu sana, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Please breathe in, breathe out. Relax. Don't worry. Unaona ukishaka leo sit na bala alikuwa amekaa hapo. Mambo inaenda sambamba. Iko shwari. Anyway, tell us who's Cynthia.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Cynthia Omwenga, as you've just heard, and I'm an advocate, sexual reproductive health advocate, and also I'm a health educator.
So ulikuwa tu hapa tukiambia Val tutafile sexual harassment. Ulikuwa tunatuangalia hivi. Unasema I am the person for the job.
Nilisikia nikasema let me shut up.
What are they play low? But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, and also very passionate about working with community, also youth and women. Yeah. And I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, what does Cynthia's story begin? I don't know. I think that's the place I want to start this conversation at.
The story begins when I reached class 8, when I started my menses, and there was no one to guide me through it. Wow. That is what inspired me to, when I was growing up, like I just wanted to be there for all the girls, like just talk to them, train them, give them a hearing, ears, and yeah, that's where it began.
Hey, you've triggered me to remember, when did I start my menses? I started my menses in class 6. But then we had this is not about me, but anyway, let me just tell you this part. We had gotten so much awareness. I think I was privileged because in primary school we were given, it was the era of being given panties, being given pads, so we had a lot of that. And then my parents, my mom particularly, had not been the person to outrightly talk about those things, so I had a lot of that in school. So when they started, it was, so how was your experience? I can imagine. Okay, at least me, I had heard about it and I had gotten counseling and all.
Our school provided counseling sessions, but we were kind of not confident to go and tell our counselor that, you know what, I've started. And mine, I think I was so tensed. I started when I was doing my KCP. And it was on first day I was sitting for a math paper. So I think I tensed so much that maybe that's why I started it that day. So I never told anyone. Wow. I just sat alone. I didn't know, but I had the pads, but then I didn't know how to put them on. I can't tell my mom that, oh, because I was not that so close to talking such things
African
with her. Yeah, I thought that maybe it's a taboo, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. So what happened?
So I didn't have the pad at the moment, so but it wasn't that heavy. So I had to stay.
Did you stay in your dress?
Yeah, I was staying in my dress. I had to wrap my sweater.
What I used to see those things in primary school, and I would see how embarrassed people were.
That thing is very embarrassing. First of all, if you have like so many men, the ratio of girls to boys in your class is too large. It's very embarrassing. Like you just feel it's so embarrassing. Do you know in primary school the way you're always arranged, girl, boy, girl.
Yeah.
So the boys are like, why are you wrapping your sweater around your waist? They're like, I'm just okay doing that. So I had to wait until lunchtime. So I then went to to my friend who was in lower class, but she had already started, and I had to borrow the pad from her, and yeah, that's how my
Wow. I don't think I've ever had leakage, especially the stains. I don't think I've ever had them, but I also don't think I would be embarrassed. I think and it's a question I'll ask you later on in this conversation, because personally I'm very comfortable sending a man for sanitary towels, but there are so many people that are not very comfortable to actually even send their brothers, their siblings, their significant others, and I'm like, it's a natural occurrence. I mean, maybe then wale watu wenye napeangwa pads kwa duka and then nabeba, kwani unafunga la gazeti? Why? Me, I'm always looking at people. I shop attendants. Umengangana kura, umechukua paka sellotape. Like, dipe. Ikiwa hivyo.
But even we are trying to sensitize even men.
So exactly, that's where I'm getting at.
You see, you can send your brother to go bring you a pad from the shop, and the way that guy will wrap it, oh my god, you'll think it's something.
Nilishatuma brother wangu akaisha ndani ya t-shirt. Alafu anatembea hivi. Niko like, why are you walking like? Kwanza before I got to send him, it was so bad. He did not want to go. He did not want to go.
They think that maybe it's a taboo kinda. Yeah.
So that's what grew your passion too.
Yes, I was really so like, who will I tell? There is no one to tell. But I just found it so motivating, so inspiring. Yeah.
So at what point did you share with someone about it? Did you actually share at some point? That should have been the question I asked.
I never shared this until I finished Form 4 because I noticed even as I was in high school, I was kind of shy to tell someone that I've started my menses. I was not that confident.
Na mwenye sisi ndo high school kila mtu alikuwa anataka kujivictimize, nikaona cramps anaekwa hapo nje alale. Let me tell you. But then I used to be part of those ones wenye walikuwa wanalalanga nje kwa manyasi.
Ama wanapelekwa sick bay.
Maybe ni hao wenye ni wakulala hapo kwa manyasi, because my cramps, you cannot handle my cramps. I become very sick. I think, okay, continue, sorry.
So I started gaining that confidence to tell people about maybe my menses, even my mom, when I was around Form 3. Yeah, because I had interacted with a lot of girls, but I've never shared that I started this when I was in class 8, and I was so shy even to ask a pad from someone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So throughout the time up to Form 4, wewe ulikuwa na making sure kwa na pads zako. Hakuna instance yenye unaweza enda kuambia mtu akusaidie na pads.
After our school was so generous. Our school was so generous that maybe when it's closing season, you know, the way people usually they usually give out maybe the pads, soaps and all that. Like uwezi kosa pad. Uwezi, like tulikuwa tunapewa, like uko tu nazo mingi. Yeah, so sijaikosa.
Wow. So how did that make you feel? How did the experience for that season? You know, the part ya kujipata uko commences, you cannot share with anyone, you can't tell anyone about what you're going through, and you're just there. How did that experience make you feel?
It made me feel bad, and also it lowered my self-esteem because I couldn't just go somewhere and talk to people. I'm like, sasa junanyesha. Also, you know, there is this thing that people usually say in I don't know, it's in Old Testament, that when you're on your periods, there was this
usiende mbele ya watu, sijui usikanyange
usiingie church,
usifast, you are unholy.
So it reached, I think, yeah, I remember it reached a point I was telling my mom, no, I don't want to go to church.
It used to be my excuse for not fasting.
It was my excuse for not going to church.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I want my periods, I can't go to church. But my mom was very, very stiff. You have to go to church.
Wow.
You have to. Yeah, so it kind of lowered my self-esteem. Yeah.
How did you overcome that?
I overcome this after Form 4, like fully after Form 4, when I'd just finished my high school. Now I have to look for what I have to do after that. And my best friend, I know she's watching, Yala Munai, I love you so much. She's the one who inspired me. She's so good at things to do with reproductive health, because she was brought up in a children's home. So it was her passion, like, just to go out there, teach people about putting on a pad, putting on a panty, how to wash your panty well. So she inspired me, and she made me come to realize that also I can do this. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, in between, you are battling with um, self-esteem and not being able to tell people, to talk to people about it, and you actually deciding, because there's this girl that was very shy to even talk about herself going through menses, and then there's this girl who has decided to pursue sexual reproductive health as a course in campus. What was that? I have a question in my mind. I'm trying to imagine how should I explain it to you. How did you transform from this girl, mwenyange ongelelea hizi vitu, and then all of a sudden you're this person who wants to do sexual reproductive health?
So how it transitioned, after Form 4, I really made a huge step of attending events. Anything to do with mental health, anything to do with sexual reproductive health, I would sign up for the event and go, just to listen how people are saying, to learn from them, to network. I remember going to someone and telling them, "Kai, wow, how did you do this?" Because they were giving their story on sexual reproductive health, and I had to follow that person, asking the person, "Wow, how did you manage? Can you walk with me through this?" Yeah, that's how I did it.
The other day we were talking with Val, Justin student. She was not Val, someone else. Okay, I think Val is on my mind. We're talking with a set of girls, and they were just sharing about how the cost of sanitary towel has really gone high, and what Senator Gloria Oroba was trying to do in terms of availing, creating awareness and all. Do you feel we have done enough? Because right now, are we actually becoming better, or are we becoming worse? Because if the cost of sanitary towels has shot up, what's the guarantee that a girl in mashinani are able to get it? Because now it's at nilisikia ni 90 bob. I don't, okay, it's so bad kusema nilisikia and I am a girl. Nilisikia, because I can't remember the last time I bought sanitary towels. I'm always sending someone to buy sanitary towels for me. So how much do you think we've done?
We're getting worse. We are away from better, way away from even getting better. Because I remember there was a time we used to get pads at around 45 shillings,
Yes.
or 50 shillings. And right now, I think the cheapest pad is around 65 bob, and it's like it's not a good quality. It's kind of nylon. When you put it on, you get burnt. So the good ones, or the better ones, are around 80 to 90 shillings. So I think I'm sure we are not doing well at all. And first of all, to talk about the girls who are in mashinani, have you ever thought of those with disabilities, what they are going through? You know, I went to a field work somewhere in mashinani, and what I saw, oh my god, you know, there was this girl who was disabled, and she was using sand. She had placed sand. She was on her menses, and she had placed sand as a pad. So we are not even getting better. It was that bad.
You've shared about that story about Mashinani, and it has triggered me to think, to just ask you, what are the stories you've encountered through your community journey and the work you do with communities, what are some of the, sasa sisi tunaongea from statistics, but there's someone who goes on the ground and they know the situation on the ground. What does the situation on the ground look like?
The situation on the ground is not good at all. First of all, when you go to places like Kibera, Kawangware, and all that, when you do, there is this thing that we usually do when you go for school outreaches. We take some to plain papers and you give kids to write what they think about sexual reproductive health. And what those kids are going through, it's a lot. Mentally, it's a lot. They're shy. They can't. When you ask them, tell me something, they won't tell you. But when you tell them to write, and you specify, kindly don't write your name, not unless it's that burning, so you can write your name. Those girls are going through a lot. In Kibera, we found most cases about girls just dating those our border people, so that they can get a packet of pad. And also on matters also to do with sexual reproductive, we found out some cases that some kids are staying with their parents, also girls at their reproductive age who are staying with their step parents, to be specific, stepfathers. Those girls, most of them are actually engaging in sexual activities with their men, with their fathers, and their mothers are not aware. Because I found
those things is Elisha.
Imagine, as Deisha, recently we found a note when we asked the kids to write down what questions they have, and there was this question like, imagine, I usually sleep with my dad, and I don't know what I can do.
Well,
And sasa, even it's hard to recognize that person. They've not even written their name, and the way most teachers, but I've seen they are really doing well. Most teachers in these public schools, like they are feared most by the students, so the students cannot approach them. So yeah, they're in those semi-urban areas. It's really worse, and it really needs a lot of interventions. Yeah, to just reach out to both boys and girls.
Wow, I happened to do one of the things I do. I happened to do mission in high school. And one of the stories we had were something related to what you said. There's a girl who was saying, although this is not sexual health reproductive related, but it's a case similar to that. She was saying that yeye na mama yake wanafaitia baba yake. Yes, both of them are sleeping with the dad, and they are actually in a full-blown war over the father. That's the wife and the daughter. And I was like, wow, the things that are happening, interesting stuff. But who is teaching our children these things?
A lot of organizations are doing that. Like a lot of organizations are going to the school outreaches and doing that. Also, the religious part is taking a good step. Like our church, where I go to, Hope Church Lavington, they usually offer those services. Like they usually have weekly meetings with the girls, just to talk about reproductive health and all that, to bring experts. Yeah, and even they usually pair them with elder girls to be their mentors. So NGOs are doing so well, and also teachers are really playing a big part in that. Yeah.
Amazing. So I know we know of this part. You've talked to us about mental health and the passion for your career, where the passion for your career emanates from. I'd want you to tell us, I know sexual health is broad and wide.
Yeah.
Do you mind elaborating the different, because I know it's beyond just sex, and from where the word originates from. What entirely is sexual health, rather reproductive health?
So sexual reproductive health, it's basically a study or a subject that is designed to teach or to empower kids or even older people, like when to recognize that, you see, when we were told that girls start, like their body starts changing when they are at 9. So like it just entails how your body is, generally your body, and to be specific, your reproductive parts, like maybe the vagina, the breasts, yeah, and all that. So it for us, we learn all the body parts, like all the reproductive body parts and their organs, so that maybe when you go out there, you know how curious these kids are. Like, Connie, what's the function of this thing? Nini, nini. Yeah. So we just learn about it, and yeah.
Amazing. So, I'm going to ask you a controversial question. Part of sexual reproductive health is knowing intercourse, that is intercourse with a partner or something. And whereas as a Christian you want to lie on the abstinence before marriage, but according to the community, or rather according to everyone who is not born again and they don't follow the biblical doctrines, you can get intimate with someone at whatever time. So when is the right time to get intimate with someone, in your opinion? When are young people ready? Because this is a youth station. You know, there's a young person when he's thinking, so am I ready for me? I tell you, I'm following Bible, wait for marriage. But anyway, because we have a sexual reproductive health expert, let her tell you when you're ready to get intimate with someone.
According to our human rights, and once you reach 18, yeah, you're good to go. But they usually say you can wait, you learn better.
I know of a friend of mine who's getting married next month. She's never gotten intimate with anyone. She's a virgin and she's 30.
That's nice. But with our generation, the
that
body wants.
That brings me to the part here. When two minors are having intimacy, what do we call that? High schoolers to teenagers. Because we've seen a lot of teenage mothers, and some of those teenage mothers have not been impregnated by older people. They've just been impregnated by fellow teenagers. Where do we classify that?
That is fornication.
Now, that's fornication. But in terms of rights, you know, now when a minor and an adult are found, that's an offense according to the law. So what happens when it's two minors? That's what I'm asking.
Hey, two minors.
Because ingekuwa ni mtoto wa teenager na acha nisitumie prof atakasirika. But anyway, ingekuwa ni teenager na mtu amemaliza, let's assume mtoto wa 15 years na mtu wako 25 years, or mtu wako, let's say even not say 25, 19 years, you know, 15 and 19, that's an offense, because why are you defiling a minor? That's pedophilia, right? So when it's a child and a child, a 15 and a 15, what do we call that?
I think they're just trying to explore us.
Okay.
Lack of a better
So
word.
according to the law, are they subject to, you see, pedophilia is a crime in terms of the law. So when they're two young people, are they subjected to the law? That's what I'm actually thinking. In this whole question.
That one I've not heard for, but a minor, someone who is above 18, that one I know is subjected to the law. But two minors, I've never had that.
Okay.
Because how will we know? Not unless we find them red-handed. Those people are very secretive. They won't even tell you.
Watch out. The videos I have been seeing online. The Lord help me. So how do we take care of our sexual reproductive health?
It all starts from individual level. So as young as someone is growing, like a kid is growing, they should know. They should know, these are my private parts. This is my private part. This is my private part. No one must touch them. Something like that. And
You've reminded me of
that
song.
These are my private parts. Private parts.
Private parts. These are my private parts.
No one must touch them.
No one must see them. Hey, acheni niwaambie. Tulikuwa tunasikizanga hizo vitu, tulikuwa tunaambia kwa tukiwa wadogo. Hatungeingia kwa hizi mashida.
Imagine.
Nilikuwa nasema the other day, had I listened to my mother when she told me usiende kwa nyumba ya mwanaume. No, those things our mothers used to tell us. No, usiende kwa nyumba ya mwanaume. No, usifanye, alafu tunaona mother unanishow. I was telling myself, had I listened to that advice that time, I am not saying anything. Anyway.
If you know that time, you just reminded me, during that time when your mom is telling you not to do this and you want to do it, okay, that thing is
Sasa ndio unajua madhi yako kwa mjinga. Sasa ndio unajua madhi yako kwa mjinga. She was very okay.
Unaona huyu mama anitaki.
Na
kona mzee, akona bwana.
Exactly. But let me tell you, unaona advice mamako anakupea. Hiyo yenye anakuambia asikupate na nani, because najua mmefunga shule, mko home mna watch TV, please. Hiyo advice kiza.
Ni yenu.
Ni yenu. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with how to take care of our reproductive health.
So I was saying, as young as the kids are, they should be educated at their levels, what they need to know. And
how young is too young? Let me cut you short. How young is too young? I have a niece who is 5 years old. Mwenye aliniuliza watoto wanatokanga wapi. Sitadanganya mtoto because aliona mtoto. Kwanza let me tell you how the story began before she even said watoto wanatokanga wapi. You know, her mother was expectant a few years back, a year or two ago, and then she was the one who was breaking the news. She told people. Children are very innocent, so she told the grandmother and a couple of people that were in the car, "Hey, shosho, unajua mami kuna mtoto kwa tumbo ya mami." Wow. Unajua kuna mtoto kwa tumbo ya mami. Then I was like, oh, interesting. So squeezy watoto hawajui, watoto wananunuliwa supermarket. Nowadays they know children wako kwa tumbo ya mami. Alifika je kwa tumbo ya mami? You know the other day, the child asked me, "Mami, kokona unajua auntie nani, I don't want to mention. Auntie nani alikuwa na tumbo kubwa, alafu kulikuwa na mtoto hapo ndani." So I'm like, wow. So how young is too young to tell these children about these things?
For the girls, once they are 7 years old or 6,
wow.
5 is too little.
6, 7. My lord.
Also, my sister actually.
Where do you even start?
My sister is 5 years, and yesterday my elder sister, they had been given 4 packets of pads. So she was saying, "Tumepewa hizi hadi za January." So I was like, wow, that's good. So my sister, my smaller sister, akaniambia hii ni pads. Nikamwambia inafanyiwa nini? Imagine she knows. Anajua mtu akitoka bafu inawekwa huko. And I was like, ulionea wapi?
My lord.
Namwambia hii ni mkate kubwa, hapana ni pads. So nikamuuliza, do you want to try it on? No. Ati nikiwa mkubwa kama nyinyi. Nikasema, oh, okay.
Interesting.
So you know, she's 5 and she already knows this is hii ni pad, this is mkate. Na anajua ukienda bafu lazima you put it on. So I think once someone is 6 years old, yeah, you can start. But sasa you don't give a lot of information step by step, so that he or she cannot be confused along the way. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what you're basically saying is that parents should embrace sex education.
Yes, and they should create a safe space for their kids. Like you can tell your mom anything, you can tell your father anything, like you're just comfortable telling them. Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you've experienced along your career life?
I've experienced a lot of challenges. First, educating mothers how to take care of their adolescent girls, and you know they're like, "Wewe hata hujagrow." You're still growing, hata you don't have a kid. Ati uwezi jua parenting.
Wenye ufikiria wao ni wazee kukuliko.
Hata ujui parenting, it's not as easy as you think. So for, that is the first one. Like they're trying to criticize you or to make you feel maybe you're not worthy of being there where you are. Also the government, they don't want to support the sex education being in schools, and I really think that will be a good initiative, so that the kids, it can be a part of subject where they just be taught how to do this. They can even be taught sex, you wait until marriage, what, all those. And also finances. Yeah, you know, when you go somewhere, maybe you want to facilitate a session. The kids are good, okay. You'll give them packets of pads, and they will be good to go. But then you need something like maybe transportation, even to buy them lunch, yeah, and all that. So finances, it has been one of the major challenges. Yeah.
What's the most fulfilling thing about what you do for you now?
The most fulfilling, uh, you know, going back to a school where you've already taught these girls how to put on a pad, and when you go the next time, you're like, Teacher Cynthia, yeah, like they just have to say hi. Asante, mama alisema asante kwa pad. That is the one of the most fulfilling things that has really happened to me. Like when you just walk. I remember there is a day I was working, and I was doing my attachment somewhere, and I had talked to a gentleman about this. He had queries about something that her wife is undergoing, and I was just walking, and he was like, Daktari, Daktari.
You're like, when did I become a doctor?
Yeah. Daktari, aki asante sana. And I was like, oh my God, ndo mtu tulikuwa na yeye husi. I'm like, thank you. So like people giving you feedback about how they feel you're doing, yeah, that is one of the most fulfilling things.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the role of media in all this, especially in the things it promotes, particularly to young people, children and young people? Of course, now we see children who are even on social media. Phones are no longer for when you finish Form 4.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not. Phones are no longer. There's another friend of mine who has a child. Alikuwa anataka kumbaya simu at 7. The child is 7 years, but anataka kubaya mtoto wake simu. Niko like, hey, kwani watoto walianza kupewa simu siku hizi wakiwa how old? Interesting. So, but anyway, we are living in that era where technology, digital media has been so glorified, and we are in that era. So what is the role of media in all this?
The role of media has both, there is a positive impact and also a negative impact. A positive impact is that they are really creating awareness about sexual reproductive health, and that's a good thing. Like you compare our times and now, things have really changed. And also social media has really brought together partners who are working towards the same goal. So you find like you're doing this thing, and also someone wants to help you do this. So you know, when you bring your minds together, it becomes a great deal. Also social media has organized events, trainings, yeah, trainings just to train the counselors on how to do things in a trendy manner, not the way things were used to be done. And also the negative impact is body shaming. That is really something that I'm not happy about. So you find someone maybe has just gone, maybe on TikTok she's live and she's doing this and this, and you're like, you have small tits. You just find someone commenting on the comment section. And I'm like, we should be here to motivate one another, to just give them words of affirmation, and you're here criticizing this young lady. Meaning, like, there is high possibilities that this lady, after seeing that comment, she'll just feel low. Yeah, and that will lower her self-esteem. So social media, it's doing great, and it's also doing some kind of damage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like we should kataza? I'm using the word kataza intentionally. Do you think we should kataza our children certain things, like zile za hapana usifanye hiyo, hapana usifanye hiyo? Because sisi tuli grow up in the era of tulikuwa tunaambiwa hapana usiende kwa mwanaume, but tuambiwa nini ukienda kwa mwanaume nini itakufanyikia, au tunaambiwa hapana nisikuone na boys, you know, like tulikuwa tunakatazwa. We were being told no, but not there. Why are we being told no? So in your opinion, do you think we should continue with the trend of hapana kataza mtoto asifanye nisikuone na boys?
No, we should yes, we should tell them don't do this. Then you give a further explanation. Because when you do this when you're young, you don't know the HIV status of this guy. It's a sin. You should not fornicate. Then you tell them, like you give them more information, detailed information, so that hata akikaa peke yake in a room, she's like, okay, mom told me this and this. It's because this and this and this and this and this and this. Yeah, that is more reasonable than just telling you nisikune na wanaume nini. You know, I used to think that even sitting next to a boy you'll get pregnant. Do your parents were telling
the trauma.
your parents were telling you, unajua mwanaume atakupea mimba, like even sitting with them, even just talking to them, I'll get pregnant.
Yeah, you get pregnant.
But now we should tell them, Cynthia, don't do this and this. It will hurt you. It will do this. Your emotions will be involved. Sex is spiritual. What? So if they can wait until marriage, then that's good. Or if they can wait until they're 18, yeah, that's good. At least they will have grown to be better versions of themselves. Yeah.
Amazing. As we almost come to a conclusion of this conversation, what in your opinion, what future do you envision we should build?
What I envision is having a world that is period poverty free. Like everyone knows what, like everyone can access pads. Men are so empowered that even when their wives or girlfriends are on their menses, they can check that panty confidently and put that pad on and assist them in putting on. And also like creating more awareness such that when you find someone and you ask them about maybe sexual reproductive health, they can tell you. Juu in mashinani, you know, we assume that education is out here. Most people don't know these things. Like they just know like hizi vitu zinakujanga na mtu anakuambia ajui, hata ajui inakuja aje, what triggers it, what how does it go. So I think when we empower the whole world with enough education on sexual reproductive health, yeah, it will go very far.
Okay.
Yeah. And also the government, if the government can be that can maybe work together with all NGOs in matters regarding that, yeah, we can be in a good place.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a person, now you as Cynthia, what does your vision board look like? Where do you want to see yourself? Where do you hope to see yourself in terms of creating awareness for sexual reproductive health? Because it has been a journey for you, from that timid shy girl who would not tell someone I have started my period, to this advocate who is advocating for sexual health, reproductive health. So what does the future look like for you as a person?
For me, I see a future where everyone, not everyone, if it's not everyone, most people, more so in the mashinani areas, they are able to get what they need for their sexual reproductive menses and all that, including the boys. They can get the boxers, the good quality ones, and girls can get, like, I'm seeing a country where you see in CBD these pits where we put on litters. Maybe they can be full of pads and also panties and boxers and soaps. Yeah, just maybe when you're passing by and maybe you're not in a position to get a panty or a pad, you can just freely pick one or the ones that you might need and you just go. Yeah.
Amazing. So finally, this question is usually interesting. That couple of times I've asked different people, they are usually like, unataka nikufe? Hapana, sitaki ukufe, disclaimer. Sitaki ukufe, no. But what do you hope to leave as a legacy behind?
I hope to leave hope. To leave hope, like when someone hears my story or someone, there are these people who they easily give up. So I just want, maybe when someone is going through something, like they're not alone in this. There is someone, maybe there are other stories that might be helpful to them. So like giving hope, like just giving hope to women, youth, and everyone. That is something that I would love to leave a legacy.
Amazing. So as we wind up, I would want you to use that camera to give us a parting shot. Talk to a young girl who's listening to you this morning. Talk to a young man who's watching you this morning, and they just need someone to talk to them from a big sister vibe.
Okay, so my viewers, so to so I would really love to tell you to be always confident no matter what. Menses are good, actually a good thing, and no one should be ashamed of it. And even the male, we really want you to be empowered in this thing, so that you can be that good brother to your younger sisters. Yeah, and also, yeah, if you need someone to talk to, I'm always here.
Amazing. Finally, tell us where we can find you on social media.
Okay, on my social media platforms, I'm not so much into social media, but I can give my number.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want an educator to talk to you about something, yeah, you can find me. My WhatsApp number is 0743 598785. Yeah, my LinkedIn page, I'm Cynthia Omwenga. Yeah.
Amazing.
And also
Yes.
I'm currently volunteering at a community-based organization. It's called Greatness, Kindness and Love. Yeah,
Okay.
GKL. So they gave me an opportunity to be the administrator and also an educator. So I work closely with them. You can find us on all social media platforms at JKL CBO, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Greatness, kindness, and
And
love.
love.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tushazoea gifted hands, so hands, what initiative, yeah, Anyway, thank you boy, Leo, my ancestors have come for me. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for coming. We're very glad you came on time.
Thank you so much for having me.
But then, thank you for coming. Thank you for the conversation. It's not everyone who is willing to talk about their first time experiencing menses, or rather talk about menses. Okay, me, I always find it I mean, it's a natural occurrence. You're a woman, you're bound to have that.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for creating awareness and for coming to talk to us about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can I say something?
Yes, please.
I also educate people on their menstrual cycles, and I particularly use beads to educate people.
Mbona hujatuambia hiyo part mapema?
I forgot to carry one.
Hebu niambie kwanza, we can still like 2-3 minutes.
This one doesn't has, it's not segmented in that way. It has 4 parts. The first phase, second phase. I realized that people in Mashinani can't afford smartphones to track their menses. So I usually use the wristbands to teach them on how to count their days.
Okay, so how does the wristband work? Like Benja, we can still like 3 minutes. Yes, thank you. Tumambua, we can take 3 minutes to explain. Oh, una keep the juicy parts after tumesema goodbye. Hapa na rudi.
So the beads has 4 parts. The first phase, second phase, third phase, and fourth phase. So the first phase is menstruation, and it goes for around 7 days, or some experience for 3 days, like that. So the second phase is luteal phase. And luteal phase is when the egg is starting to
be released.
Yeah, luteal phase, yeah. You know, I don't use those words. You can't use those words in Mashinani. Yeah. So the third phase is ovulation. No. I think I've forgotten the third phase. I can't remember the name very well. And then the fourth phase is ovulation. Ovulation is when the egg now is being released. So, and when actually that is one of the safest ways of family planning, if you know. Like if your menses are regular, and if you really know how to count your days.
If your menses are regular. Usijaribu kusema ule madamu wa TV alitudanganya.
And also if you're not using any contraceptives.
Yes.
Yeah, that is one of the safest.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me. And also I'm open to partnership. Yeah. And also I'm currently on job hunt. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. So umesikia kuko na kabid unaenda ukicount hivi ukijua zinaenda ngapi. Mimi hata ni kama hiyo bid pia mimi ndafuata.
Yeah, you can purchase it, you can just follow, you can text me on WhatsApp and yeah, you can
I'll
do
call
it.
my parent number yake. One more round. Your number.
Your number 0743598785. Yeah.
Okay. That's it from us on Inspiring Stories. Umeambiwa vitu mingi leo, sitaki kukuchanganya, kukudiscombobulate. Please, I just want you to internalize the things you've been told. One of my takeaways, I think I always have to do this. I always have to do a takeaway as we wind up this segment. One of my biggest takeaways is do not be ashamed of menstrual health. It is a normal occurrence. Be proud of being a woman. Be proud of going through that. It's your essence as a woman. So please tembea with confidence that you actually have menses. Kuna watu wenye wacha tunyamaze. Anyway, so we are taking a short break. That has been it from us on the Inspiring Stories with Cynthia Omwenga. We are shifting gears to Val on WCW, where she's talking about talk. It's niliwambia it's talk show. It's either talk show TV hosting day or something. Hiyo jina ni mrefu nimesahau venye inaitwa, but that one, happy that day. I don't know what to call it, but it's happy that day. But as Val comes to not touch that dial, we will be back with more.